Hmm? I'm in the middle of the class. I can do the dishes today. Or maybe I can do it later. I'm doing something.
This is just one of many stories out there. This is how a student like me struggled in a time of pandemic. Some may have already adopted online class as their new normal, but some still struggle because they don't know what to do or where to find help. I am one of those students. I may have high grades, but it feels like I am not growing as a student, as a person, or as a future professional. There are many things that I don't understand. For some, this may not be a big problem at all, because they can just ask somebody and surely they will understand. But I am not one of those guys. I don't know why, but I feel afraid whenever I ask someone, but I will survive no matter what. I stopped studying for 1 year because of the pandemic, and I feel like there are many things that I miss out on. I've been thinking, if I didn't stop, maybe I will graduate faster, or so I thought. This online class is not for someone like me. It's so hard to adapt, but for some, this may be convenient because the schedule is flexible compared to normal face-to-face classes. But I want to grow. This is not what I imagine for me to be in the next 4 years. Sometimes I'm thinking, what happened to the world? When will the pandemic end? When will we go back to the normal?
Ginugal niyo na ba yung kung ano yung Guernica? Nakikita niyo?
Kuya, tawag ka ni Lola.
Doing house chore during class.
Dito. Dahil baka hindi nila alam, wala silang kaibigan. Ngayon, para makarecover sa pagbagsak ng ekonomiya, kinakailangan magtrabaho ng doble, triple yung mga manggagawa, yung mga normal na office workers.
The Philippine Trade Department allows price increases in some basic goods with its new suggested retail price list.
Sky-high food prices are now part of the new normal faced by Filipinos this year. The higher cost of food has been burning a hole into family pockets, on top of additional costs like face mask and alcohol, and even for online classes of their kids.
My mom is forced to work 2 jobs at the same time to afford our basic needs. After sleeping for 5 hours, I need to start my day again. Every time I wake up, I will remember that my family is rooting for my success, and I will remind myself to believe in me. And remember that you have a friend to talk to when you need someone. Fighting, I am a future engineer.
My whole life had changed as the pandemic started. Waking up in the morning is totally different. I miss the whole days. Studying online is so hard. I almost spent my whole day in front of my gadgets, and sometimes I spend more than 8 hours studying. My eyes hurts because of too much screen time. I do not like studying online. Although it's difficult, I'm still doing my best. I know how important education is, especially in the midst of the pandemic. There are numerous occasions when I experience difficulties. It is not easy to understand the lessons since we are not seeing each other personally. Also, sometimes the internet connection and signals are weak. I experienced technical difficulties, which made it hard for me to understand the discussion. I experienced much more stress. Due to pandemic, I experienced much loneliness. I feel sad a lot of the time. In this pandemic, I didn't see my friends nor my classmates, and I have no one to talk to. This is also the time where I experience depression and anxiety. I have sleepless nights. I can't sleep, can't stop thinking about anything. I'm always awake, and I become nocturnal. I never give up. I never lose hope. I'm still okay, still fighting, and I salute all of the students. Keep fighting.
Without a question, the COVID-19 pandemic has made already tough social and economic issues even more difficult. Young people in the Philippines, particularly the most vulnerable youth and students, have not been immune to the pandemic's devastating impacts. Numerous problems that already plague the continent's young have been made worse by the COVID-19 pandemic. The pandemic switched traditional face-to-face classes to online classes. Poor eating behaviors in undergraduate students just like me may affect their well-being in their later stages of life. I have faced several difficulties as an engineering student while adjusting to the new standard of education. As I keep up with this setup, things get increasingly worse. I normally eat a lot of junk food and drinks with preservatives to help me deal with my stress. Even though I knew they were dangerous for my health, I still crave more. In addition, I am watching a ton of video lectures to better grasp the subjects being covered in class. Since the environment I am in right now is crowded and noisy, I actually study at midnight to at least feel focused at this moment because it is peaceful. Lack of sleep can have negative effects on a person's physical and mental well-being, academic or professional performance, and general quality of life. I struggle to get enough sleep at night because I usually have a ton of schoolworks to complete, which now I take every opportunity to sleep in this way. And here is me and my childhood best friend. Her name is Chow. Although she lives just 10 steps from my house, we rarely see each other due to our busy schedules. But we always make sure to eat an ice cream when we are together because these are our favorites. We will finish eating outside along with our cousins. After I socialize with my childhood or neighbor friends, I usually have more time with my online friends since we play Valorant or Tetris. Those games are my coping mechanisms whenever I cannot go outside to see my friends, and I am having fun with them, especially when we are in Discord chit-chatting about our lives. In the end of the day, I still want to read books and it helps me to fall asleep. I enjoy reading and rewatching J.K. Rowling's